Good morning, everyone. It's Mrs. Holbrook and, of course, our friend Baby Echo. And we have a lot to do today. Are you ready to learn some new things about consonant LE? Okay, well, hold your horses because first we just need to review some different sounds. Let's do a couple vowel sounds. Today I want to review all the sounds of E and I. E, ed, eh. Remember to repeat it when Echo looks at you. E, P, E. E, me, E. I, itch, I. I, pine, I. I, hi, I, animal, I or I, champion, E. And let's also review our R-controlled vowels. Remember, we have that controlling or bossy R. AR, car, R. OR, horn, or. ER, her, IR, bird, UR, burn, And a couple of our sound-alike words. What do they say? Throne and throne. Can you pick one to give me a sentence for? Say it out loud. She sat on the throne. They've thrown the ball for a long time. Okay, read me these ones. Flower, flower. Give me a sentence for each. Read them. Sentence. That's right. This one is the principal of the school. She's your friend. And this one is principle, a matter of doing what's right, your principles. Okay, here comes our new learning. Okay, the learning we're going to do now, you can reference in the syllable type portion of your notebook. So I would get your notebook out and just kind of have it to look at to help you review this and remember. So let me show you some of the types of syllables. We know that this represents the yellow, the consonant, and this pink represents the vowel or salmon. So what would this syllable type be? This would be an open syllable, right? Because we would have nothing after the vowel. Open. Here, I'll write it right here. And that would be a word like N-O. No. Okay, now what about this kind of syllable type? If we have a consonant and then a vowel and then a consonant, E. Or we don't even have to have that consonant here, that's optional. This is what we would call vowel, consonant, E, right? And that would be a word like lake, L-A-K-E. The E makes that A long. Okay, and let's review one more type. If we were to put a yellow one after, this would now be closed, okay? So just remember, all of these syllable types have exceptions. Exceptions are things that break the rules. Let's look at these and talk about why we have these exceptions. So if you look on the closed syllable page, it tells you all about those exceptions. Remember, for these closed syllables, we have all of these exceptions right here because usually when a syllable is closed, it says it's short sound, but in these ones, it says the long sound. Like in the word post, it is closed, but it's an exception, so it says O, post O. Let me show you some other exceptions. The word give. This should be a consonant LE word, but sometimes when a word has a V, the E doesn't make the long sound. And that's because there's no words in English that end with a V. It could be a closed instead of a consonant LE. The E is just there because it's an English thing. So I know that's a tricky and a confusing one. And then another exception would be this word right here, A, G, and let me find one more letter for you. AGO is the word what? Go, a go. And the reason this one can be an exception is because of the schwa sound. So we know that sometimes at the end of a word, we have to spell it that way because of the unaccented vowel. Let me write these on whiteboard to help you see even more. So here's our exception review one more time. Give looks like vowel consonant E, but it's not because the I is short. Bolt looks like it's closed, but to mark it, it's not because the O is long. And then go is a two-syllable word. And A would be open, except it's not because of the schwa sound. It says and that's that upside down E for schwa. Go is open, and it doesn't break the rules. Okay? Now we have a consonant LE exception as well. And it is involving when the consonants look like this. Okay, so when our consonant LE has this combination, it's not just TLE, but it has the S, STLE, like in the word castle, we have an exception. And let me show you what I mean. We're going to put the STLE on its own green card, make it its own glued sound. And let me build the word castle. It appears, aha, here's my S. Okay, so take a look. We have castle. Let me do it one more time now on the syllable frames. The first syllable would be cas, right? Technically that S would be part of the first syllable. And then we would have TLE as the consonant LE. However, anytime a word ends with STLE, both the T and the E are silent. Normally just our E is silent, but with this exception, the S is considered part of the previous syllable, and we have a silent T and a silent E as well. So when we'd mark it, it would look like this. Let me write it again up here. We would scoop the first syllable and say it's closed, so the A is short, that's normal. But here comes the exception. The second syllable should be consonant LE, but whenever it's an exception, we cross it off, and not just the E is silent, but the T is silent too, because we say castle, right? You don't hear the T. We don't say castle, it's a castle. I want to build a sand castle. Let's take a look at some more words like this. Okay, before we do more words, I want to show you our new card that goes with our green card. It's a picture of a sand castle. And for this card, we say STLE, castle, soul. You try it. STLE, castle, soul. Excellent. Let me show you another one. Here we go. Let me erase castle and bring up my syllable frames. And let's do the word whistle. What would the first syllable be in whistle? Whis, whis. Okay, so with is a WH. What is? And then the next syllable sounds like ul. So we know that it has to be the TLE sound. And then we can scoop it. Whistle. Closed, consonant LE, but a silent T and a silent E. whistle. And notice the second syllable doesn't have a vowel sound. It just sounds like oh. Remember we said all syllables have vowels? Well, there's a vowel in there, but we only hear the L in these exceptions. Let me make sure I cross that off to show that it's an exception. Okay, I would like you to get out your whiteboard, and I have one more word that has the exception for you to try. Pause until you have your whiteboard. Okay, so far we had castle, whistle, and I have one more exception for you. Repeat after me. Hustle. Hustle means do your best, run fast, work hard, don't lazy, hazy, daisy around. Okay, so hustle. Let's do the syllables. Hus-ul. Let's use the syllable frames on top. So hus, us. Go ahead and write it out. And then ul. All we hear is the L, but use what we learned from whistle to help you do the second syllable. Should look like that. Now put it together down here and mark it. Write the whole word hustle. Scoop the syllables and then mark it up. What's the first syllable? Close, so it's short U. Make sure you go ahead and mark that up. What's the second syllable? Consonant LE, but wait, is it? No, it's an exception, so cross it off and cross off the T and the E because all we hear is the L. Hustle. Okay, make sure yours looks just like mine. And if you want more practice, you should copy down whistle and castle. If it's still not quite making sense, copy those down to get a little more practice. And then when you're ready, we're going to add this new rule into our student notebook. So we were in the syllable parts. So keep going until you find the final syllable, consonant LE, and see how we have castle in there. We're going to add these other two examples into our notebook too. So you already know how to do hustle. You just did it on your whiteboard. Now put hustle and whistle into your notebook. And remember, it's important that you're doing this. It's a spot that you can look back, and it's a way that your teachers will know if you're completing your work because they can check in on this. You're entering hustle and whistle and marking them up. They should look just like mine. And this is where you can always review the rule. So pause on this until you finish, and when you're done, make sure you erase your whiteboard and clean up all your things. Nice job with this new rule and new card.